Are you folks ready to rock? What is up, everybody? Welcome in. It's good to see all of you folks in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is VooDoo Val, and I am going to be your host for yet another Adobe Live Game Show. I hope you all are doing well this holiday season. I hope you have been enjoying the holiday special week, the Adobe Live Home for the Holidays special week. It's been pretty fun. I see Annika in the chat. Annika, you shined today. I don't know if you folks caught Annika's stream earlier in the afternoon, but it was wonderful. It was amazing. You guys should all go back and check it out if you have not seen it yet. You did a wonderful job, and it was a pleasure to watch. For those of you who are over on the YouTube channel, please come over to behance.net/live because that is where I'm going to be reading the chat. We've got so many familiar faces and friends over here. I see Clever Devlin. I see Menhefen. Welcome in. Mercurial. Sam Peterson, Annika, RB, Steve, Umacorn, welcome in, all of you folks. It's good to see you. And for who was that asked? I think it was Menhefen. This is a game show, yes. It is not a trivia show. Basically, yesterday we did episode number 1, and what I do is I have a wheel full of words. We put together a list of words yesterday with help from the chat that are all like kind of holiday season themed. And we spun that wheel and we got these 6 words that are down at the bottom of the screen: mountains, gingerbread, glowing, elf, snowman, and forest. And the way the game works is I have to use a minimum of 4 of these words, but I can use all 6 if I choose, and I have to create a random project on the fly based on those words according to our medium. Our medium this week is graphic design, and we do a bunch of different projects. Sometimes we do video editing, sometimes we do animation, sometimes we do illustration and painting, and this week is graphic design. Also, I see David Renee Christensen in the chat. It is so good to see you, David. Welcome in. It is always a pleasure. Judah, welcome back. It's good to see you again. I'm glad you are here to hang out with us. Pedro, hello. It's good to see you. Val, thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, girl. Save your work, by the way. Save. I can tell you I'm on the stream now, so I can yell save at you. Yes, we are working on designing a snow globe. That is what we decided along with our keywords, and we've got kind of an interesting twist to this snow globe. So I'm going to pop over and show you folks what we are working on. Let me come over here. So this is the snow globe setup we ended with yesterday. We kind of got all of the grayscale shapes and elements in there, and we are going to color it and make this look like a finished piece of work. This is a magical snow globe, and contained within it is a creature very like a genie. If you find yourself in possession of the snow globe and you shake it, you activate the magic of the snowman inside, a snowman that I have named Jerry. Now, once Jerry's magic is activated, he has the power to bestow upon you excellent luck, fortune, gifts, whatever it is that you desire, if he chooses to. Unlike a genie, he can choose whether or not to bestow these incredible magical gifts upon you. The problem is, though, that every time you shake the snow globe to activate his magic, you shake him to pieces, and by the time he puts himself together again, he hates you. So I think we're going to title this Snow Globe of Misfortune. Because no matter what, Jerry will never grant you your wishes. He will never grant you fame and fortune and wealth, because by the time he gets to using his magic, he really dislikes you because you've shaken him to pieces. And I think it's hilarious. We had a really good time coming up with this concept yesterday. So we've got our snow globe, we've got a little scene in there, we've got mountains, so we're using our mountains. The snow globe itself is going to glow, so we have glowing, we've got trees in there for a forest. forest, and we've got a snowman, and we may hide some little Easter egg items in there as well. But that's what we've got, and I don't know if you can tell from just the basic sketch that I did before I started kind of graphically adding in these shape elements, but Jerry has flown into 3 pieces, and we're going to have his arms reaching back to grip the snowball that is his head, trying to keep himself together, and he's going to look very angry. He's going to look really upset about what's happening to him. And if we have time, even though this is not an animation week, I thought it would be really fun to see if we can't animate the snow falling in the scenes. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of jump into this. I'm going to start adding in some of the details. Like, we need to put his nose in there. We need to put his eyes in there, and we used the pen tool and we used shapes yesterday, and today we're going to choose a color palette and start dropping in colors and use gradients and the dissolve blending mode, which I'm an advocate of the dissolve blending mode. I know that a lot of people get into Photoshop and they accidentally turn dissolve on and they're like, what the heck does this do? This is not great. Why do I need this? I use dissolve all the time to really spice up my gradients. So we're gonna use that. And I think that rather than using the pen tool and the shape tools, I think I'm going to draw out some blobs and shapes for some of the smaller details here, and then we're gonna kind of get into adding our color. So I don't know, if you look real close, you can see behind my sketch we do have 2 layers of mountains here. I want to make sure that we add our frost to the edge of our snow globe. We're going to color in the base and give it some definition so it looks like it's pulled into 3D space, and then we're going to add some texture to this. So let's come in here to snowman. We've got our base, middle, and head. I'm going to make a new layer real quick, grab my brush, and I'm gonna grab, I think, maybe a sharp round brush, I think maybe is what we're gonna do. I think that'll probably work. And I'm just gonna come in here with black. I haven't chosen any colors yet, so we're just blocking in the shapes of his face. And I'm gonna come in with black, and I'm just gonna, let's maybe turn my smoothing on a little bit. And I'm just gonna draw a quick nose real quick. A little carrot nose. We're gonna get that in there. And then we'll come back later and put some definition on it. We'll give it some little lines to make it really look like a carrot and make it fancy. What up? What up, Odari? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Nato, I'm glad you think it's funny. We've had a good time thus far and yesterday. I'm glad you're here to join us. Yes, I can spot it in your illustrations always. Yeah, it honestly, I feel like, I hope that I enlightened people that first time I did the DCC on the dissolve blending mode. It really is super, super useful depending on how you use it. And it was one of those things where for a long time I was like, what is this? Like, what situation would I ever be in where I would want to use the dissolve blend mode? It's just not what I want. I don't like this. And then I was like, oh, actually, this is brilliant. Okay, so I put his nose here, and I'm thinking I may move it, and then we're gonna see how we're gonna put his eyes in here as well. I know that we want like circle eyes, but I feel like he should have angry brows, you know? I might rotate my canvas just a little bit so I can really see this. So let me actually make a new layer. There we go. There's an eye. And there's an eye. Oops. Let's... I actually forgot. Can you believe this? I forgot the hotkey for redo. Control Shift C. Okay. So we're gonna put some angry brows. I'm gonna make this one a little bit thinner. There we go. I feel like he has an angry face now. I feel like that looks good. You can kind of tighten this up just a little bit. I like it. I like it. That might do it. That might do it for us. I'm gonna turn it back here and we're gonna zoom out and take a look. He looks pretty mad. He looks pretty mad. What I might do, however, is grab this carrot and make the carrot thinner. Yeah, yeah. And then I feel like we should put a little frown. Oh no! He's so mad. Should we like make it a whole? No, we should just make it a line. We should just make it like that. I might extend this just slightly again. Oh gosh, that's so funny. He looks so upset. We've ruined his day. We've ruined his day, folks. He's so angry. He's angy. That's what he is. He's an angy baby. Look at that. I love it. I realize that I frequently, like, I feel like I draw something and then I go a little nuts over my own drawing. But I feel like sometimes that's the best way to be, you know? Like, so often I think artists are like their own worst enemy. You know, we're not really nice to ourselves about our own work a lot of the time because we're so hard on ourselves and like demand so much of ourselves to like be good and be the best and like make better stuff and all these things. So I like to take some time every once in a while, like when I do something that really amuses me or I do something that I'm just really proud of. I like to get excited about it, you know? And I think that's something that we should all do. I think we should all you know, when we do something that we're really proud of, or just make something that brings us joy, we should get excited about it. We should. It's because he's losing his head all the time. Yeah, angy. Just like Grandma did. Yes. Why he's so mad, Val? Because he's falling to pieces right now. Oh, we gotta draw his arms. We gotta put his arms in here, and let's see, we're gonna have one arm there. There we go. So he's holding on to his head on this side. He's trying to keep it in place. There we go. And then on this side, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna put his little hand here. This is a harder one. We're gonna put his little hand here. I was having a really hard time like trying to figure out how to make it look like his hands are going back, and I don't have a lot of detail to work with here because they're just like stick arms, so it's kind of hard to, or difficult for me personally at least, to like really make this convincing. Honestly, you know who would be probably really good at deciding what sort of angle we should paint these arms is David Renee. Do you have any, let us know if you have any suggestions. I'm trying to, I'm not a connoisseur of painting stick arms. This is not a usual thing for me. So if you have any stick arm perspective tips for us, let us know. I think I'm only putting two, am I only putting 2 fingers? No, I think he needs more fingers than that. Let's maybe draw that one coming from there. Okay, there we go. Ask Steve. He is best at it. Was that Steve that was like always saying I could draw a stick figure? Is that Steve that says that all the time? The arms are looking good. Okay, Ray, if you like them, then I like them. Okay, so we've got his arms. I feel like these fingers are a lot larger than the other ones, and I might make them smaller. Okay, so he's like kind of reaching back and he's holding his head. And you know what might really make this like more, like look more like this is the front of him and he's reaching back, is if we put the buttons. I feel like putting the buttons here would really work. Little pebble buttons. There we go. They're kind of different shapes. And then we could also do, I don't know, do you put buttons all down the front, or is it just the 3 on the main body? It might just be these 3. But anywho, I think that looks good. So maybe we should also have a top hat. I feel like we could also do like a top hat. Let me grab, I might actually grab an ellipse. And we should have like a top hat kind of flying off of him. Let's grab another ellipse and shrink that down like so. And we can fill that with a gray. Or maybe we do it in reverse. Let's do this and let's come down to this one and let's fill this with a gray. Just so that I can see it, you know, just so that I can see the difference between them. We're not going to keep these as like the final colors because I don't think that will, you know, these are not the colors we're going to use, but I just need to be able to differentiate between. Let's make that a little wider, maybe not too wide. That's too wide. Just a tiny bit. Okay, there's that, and then behind, I'm gonna come in with black. Oops, I'm still on shapes. And we'll put his little top hat in here. Because I feel like it's customary for a snowman to have a top hat. So he'll have a little top hat. I might move that center circle just a little bit. I feel like it needs to be moved to the other side. So I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. Move that down. Boom. Okay, so we got our top hat. We've got our, you know, it's kind of flying. I think it would also be really cool if I made another layer and clipped that to create clipping mask. And we'll grab maybe this color and we can do like a little, like he's got, you know, a little band on his hat. There we go. So he's got his top hat and the top hat's flying, you know, like it knocked his hat off, we knocked his head off, we knocked his body off. We just knocked this guy around. Okay, and I'm gonna group these together and I'm gonna call this hat. And we're gonna make sure that that's the whole hat. No, it's not the whole hat. Let's drag this right up in there. There's the hat. And those did not remain clipped, so let me clip that. Boom. So we have the hat, and then this is, I'm gonna group everything here together except the carrot nose. So we're gonna call this nose, and we're gonna call this features. Just, you know, the rest of his features all in here. And I think that looks good. I think that looks great, and I think it is probably time to add some colors. So let's choose some colors, folks. Let's do it. I'm gonna rotate this. Oops. I'm gonna rotate this back, and I'm going to pick a color palette. So I'm gonna come up here above everything, and I'm going to hit B for a brush, and we're gonna select some colors. So let's pull this down here. I'm gonna come up in here to this blue. And I think we need maybe more blue. And I think we definitely need like a baby blue. I think we probably need a darker, more saturated blue to go with it. It does look great. I'm glad you guys like it. It looks pretty sweet though. Thanks, Harry. I appreciate that. Annika says purple, and I agree, girlfriend. I think we definitely need some purple in here. And I think that purple looks good. Oh, a snowball is hitting him from the back. Then he would be really mad. Well, he's gonna be in a blizzard too. We're gonna put snow falling everywhere, because that's the thing, is like you shake the snow globe and the snow starts falling and Jerry's magic is activated. And when it's done activating and he finally settles and he's got his magic, he is angry. He's mad. Purple mountains, that's a good idea. Let's maybe get ourselves a darker purple. And then I think we need some green, because we're gonna have these trees. So I feel like we could grab, does that green look good? I don't know. Maybe something a little desaturated like that, and then like a darker saturation. That could be cool. And then I want to get, oh, we're gonna have to have some orange. He needs orange for his nose, so we'll get like a warm orange color, I think. And then maybe a brighter orange color. Okay, so we've got some colors here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually grab our let's see, color balance, and I'm gonna clip it to this, and I am just going to kind of edit our color palette a little bit. It kind of ruins our blue there. We might need to make our blues a little bit better. Let's go into also, wait a second. Where's the one? Black, white, color balance, vibrance. Let's noodle with vibrance. We're gonna clip that too. Sometimes I do this. Sometimes I do this and it just allows me to kind of alter our colors just a little bit better. And then sometimes what I also do is I will, let me group these. Oops. I'm actually just going to toggle these off. Sometimes what I'll also do is I will make a layer that's clipped, and I'll just grab like, you know, that orange color, and I'll paint bucket it in there, and then I will put it on a blending mode over top, because it just adds a little bit of the colors to everything. See, that kind of evened it out. It kind of ruins our blue though. And I'm not sure. Oh, that was pretty. That's pretty, but that's not the kind of stuff we're going for. Let's go back to, what was that, soft light? Soft light might do it. And then here we'll go hue and saturation, and I will noodle. This is a way you can do it. It's kind of tedious, and if you don't pick good colors like right off the bat, sometimes it doesn't work. Another thing you can do, I'm just going to kind of give you guys some tips for choosing colors if you're not good at choosing colors. This is something that I actually saw from Kyle T. Webster, and we might actually end up using this. So I'm going to grab this orange color. I like this orange color. And I want to choose a green that goes with it. So I'll come down here into green, and I'll select a green, and then with like a 50% opacity, I will blend a green in with it and sample. And when I turn the opacity on, again, I have this green color that actually looks pretty good with it. And then we could try that with a blue too. Let's grab like a serious blue color. And on another layer, I can, oops, 50%, kind of draw a blue over, and let's grab that blue. And then at 100% opacity, I can, you know, find this blue that actually looks pretty good. We might actually choose our colors like this. Let's do that. So we've got orange, green, and blue. and then I kind of want to have a lighter version of, or a darker version of both of these. So let's merge those together. We'll duplicate it with Control or Command J and drag it down. And then we will use hue and saturation, and we will darken this and also saturate it. So we have like kind of a darker version of everything there. And that actually doesn't look bad. That's actually pretty good. So yeah, I watched a Kyle T. Webster stream and he showed how to do that. And so you can choose colors that work well together because they almost have a little bit of each other mixed in. So there's 3 colors. And if we decide we need more colors than that, we can. I might actually grab this blue, turn this on 50% and grab a lighter blue just so that I have like a light baby blue. I think we decided we needed a baby blue. That's pretty good. Oh, and then we wanted purple. Let's grab a purple. So let's get like a saturated purple. And on a new layer, I'm just going to draw a purple. Oops, 50%. I'll draw purple over all of these. That looks like a good purple. And let's go 50% to 100%. And let's draw purple. That purple looks good. It looks good. And then I will just do a, so we got that off the green. So maybe we do that again. Let me come in here. Do I have, hold on, where am I? I'm gonna go here and click because that'll give me a previous color. So I'm going to select that color that we were messing with before and go back to B. And I'm going to draw with 50% over this green and grab that. I think it was the green that we took. 50, 100. No, I don't think it, I think it might have been the blue. I was wondering if it would work like that, but let's see. Cancel. B, 50%. Oh, I'm still on the gray. What is happening? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what's happening. There, I'm just going to sample it from there. I just wanted to go back to my previous colors. B, select that. Okay. Now I will do it. At 50%. Yeah, there we go. Select and 100%. There we go. So we got a darker purple. Awesome. So we have some just really good colors. Now, let's merge that one more time. There's our color palette. I'm going to delete that ellipse. Also, how are we doing on time? I haven't really been paying attention to time. Okay, we got about 30 minutes left, and I think that we can paint this up. We can color this all in. Okay, so we've got this, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to use clipping masks to clip some base colors to everything, and then we're going to use gradients and the dissolve blending mode to give it some texture. So I'm going to hide our sketch because we don't need our sketch right now. And I'm going to come into our snowman. Let's go into our snowman, and I'm actually going to group the base, middle, and head. And then I'm going to clip to that. So let's create clipping mask. I'm going to select this baby blue, and I think I'm actually going to make that brighter because I don't want the snowman to be 100% white. I'd like him to be like almost a soft blue, and we'll come in with the dissolve blending modes and give him some texture that is white so that it's like white that fades to light blue instead of just flat, you know? So there's the blue. We will select this color and we'll come in and clip it to our snow. And our snow is already a clipping mask, so what we can do instead is lock transparency on that. Actually, let me rasterize it, rasterize layer. Let's lock transparency on that, and I will just paint bucket in blue. We can do lock transparency on all of these. So lock transparency. Lock transparency means that anything that is like whatever is painted, I'll do like a quick demo here for you. So if I make a brand new layer and I draw a heart. Okay, so I've got this heart. If I draw on this layer again with another color, like maybe I want this to be a purple heart, it's going to draw outside of the lines. But if I have this heart on my layer and then I lock the transparency, I can still paint, but it will only allow me to paint on the pixels that are already on the layer. So it's almost like having a clipping mask to it, except it's on the layer. So I'm painting directly onto it. It's just not allowing me to break the borders of what's already there after I lock transparency, which is great because when you use clipping masks a lot, like I do, and you want to clip something to a layer, you can't do that if something is already a clipping mask. So the snow was already a clipping mask. These front mountains, they're already a clipping mask. So I can't clip anything to those front mountains. What it'll do is it will just add it to this long stack of things that are clipped to that ellipse. But if I lock the transparency, then I can come in with a paint bucket and I can drop it in there and it will stay. It will only drop that color onto what is there, which is just very, very useful. Is that the layer one? Yeah. And then we wanted to, you said you guys wanted purple mountains. Cancel. We need to rasterize that and lock its transparency and put some purple mountains back there. Boom, that looks good. And then we need to get some green in for our trees. So this, we could lock the we don't have to lock transparency on this, but I'm thinking we might anyways, just because it also using lock transparency is just kind of nice because it allows us to keep our layers panel decluttered. Also, what I'm realizing is I don't know if I like this green for this project, and I'm wondering if we just use a darker purple. What do you guys think? I feel like we could get away with doing like that. I actually like that, so we could just do like blue and purple for this piece, and that might not be bad. So let's do the purple. So we've got purple trees and they're kind of silhouetted there, really nice. We've got our mountains in here. We need to do the background, so the ellipse needs to be changed, and we'll lock the transparency on that. Can we? Let me rasterize. We'll lock the transparency on that, and this could maybe be we could do like a really light purple, maybe? No, I don't think. That can work, because we are going to put some more white on him, so we kind of lose the edge of his face almost here, but we could maybe use the blending modes to change that. So I'm gonna leave it like that, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna fix this tangent with his hat, because the edge of his hat is right there on the edge of the mountain, and I don't like the way that looks, so I'm just gonna turn the hat and bump it like this. Maybe not so turned. I just need it away from the edge there. There we go. Okay. So we've got him, we've got his hat, we've got the mountains, we've got the background, all the colors are coming together. And I feel like the base should look like wood. Honestly, I think that would be a good base color. So we could find, honestly, this might work. This right here. Oops. Let me grab my paint bucket. We can grab that. Let's rasterize this as well. Rasterize layer, lock transparency. No, maybe like a matte black and silver would be better. I'm not sure why. What just happened? Hello? I don't know why it did not allow me to do that just now. but stuff happens. Let me grab this gray color. There we go. I don't know why that wasn't working. I think it looks better as gray. And we can do what I'd like to do as well is I'd like to have like a silver plaque on it. So I'm gonna draw a rectangle like this. And I'm gonna do a really horrible, awful, bad thing here. I'm going to change this to like a light gray, okay? And I am going to Control T, I think. Control T to free transform, and I'm gonna warp it. I'm gonna warp it. Oops, hold on, let me regular Control T. I'm gonna put it here. And I am going to warp. Am I gonna warp? Maybe I will just skew. No, I need to warp. People are going to hate this. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Maybe I'm just feeling self-conscious about my terrible warping skills. But I think we're gonna do it like so, because this will allow us to kind of just create like, you can bump this down, just to kind of give it the kind of feel and look like it's this little plaque that is like going around the base of this. I might have warped it a little too much. I'm gonna push that up just a tiny bit. Okay, let's see. That doesn't, hold on. Oops, well, that's fine because I was gonna redo it anyways. Let's try this one more time, and I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna really focus on what I'm doing. I'm gonna pull this up and we're gonna warp it down instead of trying to pull the edges up. So let's warp, and I might just use these. That would probably be that's much better. I wonder if I hold shift. Yes, if I hold shift, I can very easily merge that down without ruining it, I think. Maybe not. Let's warp that, and let's warp that. That looks better. It might not be 100% how it ought to be, but I think that it gets the job done just fine. Okay, yes. Boom. So we have a little thing. We're gonna put the words Snow Globe of Misfortune on there. And we've got all our colors in. Oh, actually his nose. So nose, let's grab our paint bucket. Let's also, let's also lock the transparency on that. I'm gonna grab this. Okay, and then we have his little nose. Awesome. So now we are going to kind of texture it because it needs to look good. Hello, Karim. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Layer locked. Yes, Joe. That's lit. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Welcome in, Leo. All right. The one thing that I didn't want to forget to do is, oops, no, I want that still locked. Is I want to select the shape of this ellipse, and on top of here, I want to come in. I am going to do a tiny bit of paint here just for the texture. I'm going to grab maybe the vinyl scraper, and I'm going to grab this blue, and I'm going to make it even brighter because I think what this needs is it needs to have like around the edges, it needs to have like a texture like frost, and I think that the vinyl scraper brush will do great. So I am going to add this, and I wasn't going to do very much illustration type stuff today because it's predominantly supposed to be more like graphic design. So instead of like painting stuff in using, at least that's what that means to me. Like, you know, using gradients, more things that you folks could do at home with your mouse rather than needing a stylus to illustrate. But I think that this is a nice touch to kind of have a little bit of frostbite around the edge here. I think it adds a nice touch. We're gonna add a little bit more down here, a little more frosty frost. And then I'm gonna turn my brush on clear and make my brush smaller and kind of take away from it so it's not so crazy. So crazy. All right, looking good. And I can even turn that down on a lower opacity so it's not super intrusive. That might work. Okay, good to be here, dear Val. Thank you. Oh, I'm so pleased. Val just got paid 10K to sing that jingle. I did not. That's a lie. It's a lie. Okay. There we go. So we got frost. I didn't want to forget to do that. Now let's grab our gradients and let's do some dissolving. The only thing, I think we're going to be using these dissolve layers in just on their own layers in here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, I might actually, for now, I might actually hide the frost. Just so, let's name this frost, just so I can see everything that we're doing here. I'm going to deselect that. Okay, let's do the sky in the back first. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to grab my, let me use my mouse. I'm going to grab my gradient tool. And I'm going to make sure that under basics that this is set to like the color to transparency. And I am going to grab maybe a darker blue, honestly. And I am going to drag this up like so. Maybe a little more. Boom. So that kind of works to separate him a little bit from the background. Boom. And then I am going to place this on dissolve. And then I am going to grab some white. And I'm going to place that, and I'm going to place this on dissolve too. So now what dissolve does, for those of you who are unfamiliar with dissolve, is it's in a gradient, it places like all of these colors, but there's no transparency at all. It's literally, if I zoom in, it's 100% transparency in like this kind of dissolve-y, spray painty texture. So if you zoom out, it gives the effect of a gradient, but without the transparency, it's very harsh. But what I like is to do a couple of gradients on the dissolve blending mode and then merge them together because it softens it and makes it like a noise texture. So I'm going to select both of these, and I'm just holding shift to click the multiple layers here. And oops, I am going to just do Control E. And you can see, did you see that change? How it changed? And now if I zoom in here, it's still like textury, but it kind of blended a little bit more. So we have this nice kind of gradient going here. And I might even put a little bit more of the white gradient, like if I kind of bring it in from the edges here. I like it. And then put that on dissolve as well. And then under here, I might grab some more blue, maybe even just a tiny bit of the darker blue. Just a little bit. Oops, too much. Too much, Val, too much! And then on dissolve, I will also merge all of these. Boom. And then you can see, like, right after I merge it, it just softens it. So we've got our texture in the back, and now we're going to do it to these mountains. So I'm going to make a new layer between the mountains. We're going to kind of do these back mountains here, and I am going to select a darker purple, and I'm going to drag up my, my gradient on this. Now, this is the thing. We need to be able to apply a blending mode and clip this, and you can't really do that with clipping masks, since these back mountains are already a clipping mask, and you also can't do it with transparency because I would be painting directly on the layer. So I couldn't put this gradient down and apply the transparency the way that I want to. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that with masking. Now, I'm not gonna mask this bottom one because, to be perfectly honest, I actually like how this purple is coming up into the sky over here because it really makes those mountains look like they're far back. So I might leave that, but I am, however, ooh, actually maybe I will, because on dissolve it doesn't look as good. So I'm gonna mask it. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold control and just click the back mountains so I have that shape of the mountains, and then I'm going to come back up here to make sure I'm selected on my actual gradient there, and I'm just going to hit this mask button. And actually I don't think you can see my mask button for some reason. Huh. Maybe it's because of the view that I'm on. Let me see. I might just move this for now just so you can see right there under layer 0. It's that rectangular with the dot in it. That's your mask button. I don't know why exactly my computer is cutting it off where you guys can't see that. I'm sorry. Next time we do this show, it will not be cut off like that. And if I use something down there, I'll make sure to move it up just so you guys can see what I'm doing. But you can see how that, so it's a clipping mask and it's clipped. It's masked to the shape of the mountains, which looks really good. And then I am going to make another mask real quick, and we're going to grab a purple that is like a much lighter purple, and we're just going to kind of cap these mountains with a light purple, maybe more of a desaturated lavender. And we're going to cap the mountains with that light color. Let's do it from the edges here. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to turn that on dissolve. And we're also going to control click to get that shape of the mountains, and we're going to click mask. And then I'm going to merge these together. Yes. And I don't know if I like how light that purple is. I think we just need a tiny bit. I think I might have put too much, but it is looking good. So let me grab this. We'll do our gradient one more time, and we're only going to do a tiny bit of it over here. Okay, dissolve and mask, and then we're gonna merge. Yeah, cool. So we got, you know, our little snowy peaks sort of, and we'll do the same thing on the front mountains. So let's make a new layer. I'm also checking my time because we've got about 12 minutes, but I think we can finish this whole thing in 12 minutes, believe it or not. So I am going to grab this darker color, this one, oops, and we are going to throw a gradient on here. We'll maybe bring the gradient in from the edges, like so. I like it, I like it. And we're gonna throw that on a dissolve blending mode. We're gonna control click for the shape of those mountains, and we're gonna mask that. And then we are going to grab a purple, if we can. I don't know why it's not letting me select a purple. Hello, there we go. And oh, because I was on the mask layer. And we're going to kind of put in lighter peaks very subtly here on there. Okay. And I don't like that the gradient is going too far down. So what I might do also is just grab a soft round brush and then just click. Ooh, that's on my, is that on my, oh, I'm on clear. And just tap it in there. And then we're going to put that on dissolve as well. And we are going to control click and mask. And then we're going to merge. So we've got our mountains, we've got in there. And then for the trees, we're gonna do another clipping mask. We can clip this one because this one is not a clipping mask. So I can grab a blue color that is a little darker. And I might actually, where's my, oh, I'm thinking of snow. We're doing trees. We're gonna grab a purple, and we're gonna grab a much darker purple, and we are going to darken the bottom of these trees. Maybe even darker. Darken those trees like that. Dissolve, and then on another layer, we will. Will we lighten the tree? I don't think we're actually going to lighten the trees. I think we're actually going to leave that like that because we just want dark coming up from the top there. And then snow. Let's click that, go to our snow, and this is a clipping mask, so we will be making a new layer. And we will be, grab my gradient brush, grab a blue, grab like this blue, come in from the sides, like so, dissolve, control click, oops, I keep clicking my toolbar down here, sorry guys. Oh, it's a clipping mask, so I'm gonna need to clip this actually to the shape of, so I'm going to select two different layer shapes at the same time. So I've control clicked, let me just deselect. I'm gonna hold control and click the snow, so it gives me the shape of the snow. And then I'm also gonna control shift click, and it should give me the shape of the globe. Yeah, but you know what? Hold on, this is what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to control Z. I'm gonna have to do the globe first. So we're gonna mask from the globe, and it does come up here. Maybe it's not so bad if that blue comes up there. Maybe I'll leave it. That's not actually that bad. So never mind. And then we're gonna come into our snowman because we need to make him a little bit more white. And I actually clipped that color to all of them, but I think we can still do this. So this one, I'm gonna do a clipping mask. And I am actually gonna use my brush with my soft round, and I'm gonna grab white, and I'm going to draw with white there. I'm gonna draw with white there on the top, and I'm gonna draw with white on his face, and we are gonna turn that to dissolve. And then I'm gonna grab some of this blue on another layer, clip that as well, and we're gonna do a little bit of that blue, maybe this blue, yeah, that blue. On these, let's do a little bit under here. I'm gonna turn my smoothing on so I can get a nice blue, boom. And then we'll do it under his head as well, and we're gonna turn that on dissolve. Dissolve, and then merge them, and it looks cute. Look how cute this is becoming. Looking really good, VooDoo Val. Gotta go, so sleepy for my third jam. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for the stream, and thanks Sam Peterson. Umacorn, thank you so much for joining us. It is a blast to have you in here as always. And I appreciate you being here. Is it because of the workspace? It could be because of the workspace, because I have my workspace set up differently sometimes, and I think I need to just alter how my workspace is set up so you folks can see it better. There is 2 minutes left of the stream, so we do have to take off, but I'm going to turn this frost on, and I'm going to turn the fill down even more on the frost because this is the end of the line. There we go. And we didn't really get the base in. I could maybe try and do the base in a couple of minutes, but I think that might be pushing it. So what I'm gonna say is I will finish the base and post it later, just so, you know, because I want to put effort into it. I don't want to rush it. But that is actually looking pretty darn good. What do you guys think? I think we did a great job. I'm gonna kind of full screen this real quick, just so everybody can see it. that is a good looking snow globe. We've got like a whole scene in here, and it transformed from like sketchiness and grayscale into a pretty good looking snow globe scene. So I'm gonna put snow in here, and I'm going to tidy up that base and put a background, and then I will post it to social media. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you can. You'll be able to see the final product. Thank you all so much for joining me. This was absolutely super duper fun, kind of creating this little story in this snow globe. This was a blast. And I've got to take off. I got to go before I get cut off, but it is always a pleasure streaming for you folks. I hope that you are all warm and safe this holiday season. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and winter salutations to those of you who do not. And I will see you folks around the bend. I'll see you around Adobe Live sometime. Adios, everybody.